100 for 100, the podcast where me, Seed, your host, take 100 films that I think all you new movie watchers should watch out there. This is not my 100 greatest films list. This is not my personal favorite list of 100 films. These are just 100 movies that I think any new movie watcher should watch for the first time, or at least once, I should say. If you're really thinking about serious about getting into watching some films, you want to get deep into it. The celluloids. These are the 100 I think you need to watch, man. At least to start out with. I ranked them and I stacked them from 100 to 1 because maybe one person out there values my opinion. And I accompany each with a 100-word review. And this podcast we put out once a day for the first 100 days of the year 2020. That would be this year if you're listening to this within the first year it goes up. Yesterday, number 37, we talked about Inside Out, Pixar's joint. I do believe, if memory serves, that is the last of the Pixar movies we will talk about. So, yeah, Inside Out is that business. If you haven't checked it out, man, with or without Offspring, sit down and do yourself a flavor. Do that. Today, we're talking about number 36 on our list. That number 36 film is Psycho. 1960, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. I do believe this is the only Hitchcock film. No, it is not the only Hitchcock. Woo, we call that a tease. So let's get into this 100-word review, shall we? As far as psychological horrors go, Psycho is the king atop the mountain. Directed by Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense earns his title as the audience is treated to a delicious psych out of protagonists. While Janet Leigh is only in the film for the first act, Anthony Perkins as the duplicitous Norman Bates remains one of cinema's best villains, regardless of the circumstances surrounding his character. Featuring the iconic shower sequence and the equally iconic sound effect associated with it, Psycho will always be one of the thrillers every other thriller of its ilk will be compared to. Man, for all you youngins out there in the crowd that have an issue watching black and white films, you need to get over that quick, fast, because there's been a couple of black and white films on this list. Psycho, black and white. I guess you could say the beginning of Wizard of Oz is black and white. 2 days from now, you'll get another black and white movie. Clerks is a black and white movie. Yes, you need to get, there's two barriers that you younger movie watchers need to get over. Well, Americans need to get over subtitles altogether. And you younger people need to come to appreciate the black and the white. There's another one towards the end of this run that's pretty high up that is also black and white. The classics. Always go back and study your classics. This coming from 1960. Man, no one expected that Janet Leigh fake out, man. She makes off with the money, right? She just stops at this innocuous Bates Motel. And you're like, all right, then we'll lay over here, and then we'll go about with whatever the rest of this movie is going to be. And that is not the case at all. That is not the case at all, man. We get to meet Norman Bates. Anthony Perkins plays him very unassuming, so you're not expecting much to come out of this. And you kind of start to wonder, like I did the first time watching this. I can't remember when I first watched it, but it's been a little while. But you see her kind of get settled into the hotel and she's going about her routine, getting ready for the shower, and you're like, why is any of this necessary to the plot? And then it just keeps going, and all of a sudden the shower scene hits, and you just kind of see that you get that little hazy silhouette of the. Do you get to see the hazy silhouette of the character? I don't think you do. You just get the knife and the hand, and you get Janet Leigh just clapped up in the shower right there. Boom, done and done with that iconic wah, sound effect. We've all made that before. And then you're just like, what the fuck is this movie? Oh, and then it proceeds from there, and boy, is it. It's a good movie, man. It's well plotted. It's well paced. You got some classic quotes coming out of there. A boy's best friend is his mother. Everybody knows that, right? I think a good bit of this performance lies on Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates, because he's got to play both sides of that, right? So if you've never seen Psycho, and you don't know what both sides I'm talking about, I don't want to. That's one I don't want to ruin. I don't care if it's fucking 40 years old now. That's one you don't ruin for somebody who hasn't seen it. So I'll cut it there. Check out number 36 on our list, Psycho.